How are we feeling about Rashad Fenton?
Rashad Fenton's stock up, man. The stock is going up. People wanted to say, and we'll talk about Josh Williams. I think his stock is maybe impacted
No,
by
his
Fenton.
is up too.
Well, it's up. I think Fenton damages how up, but it's still up, if that makes sense. But Fenton, him getting back, there's this weird vibe with him where there's some people out there, and I feel like I say this every time we bring up Fenton, like some people don't think he's a solid player. And I said this with Tucker. I've said it with Connor multiple times. I've probably said it with Zack. Yeah, Fenton has been a very solid player considering the draft slot and just considering him being on the field since 2019. This is now 3 years of solid play from Rashad Fenton, and there's nothing wrong with having him be your third best cornerback. If he's your third best cornerback, you have a decent cornerback room. He could be the Chiefs' best or third best, quarterback this season. He's back now from the shoulder injury. I do think it's his job. People think that Josh Williams is just going to swoop in and like kick Rashad Fenton to the curb. I don't think that's going to happen. I do like Josh Williams and what he brings to the table. Rashad Fenton's stock, man, the club's going up. Rashad Fenton's stock is going up. He's back. He's healthy. He's a good player. There's nothing wrong with him being on your team. Nothing wrong with him getting snaps. He's a good tackler. I was talking with, I think it was Christian Gumminger. He's a little unorthodox with his tackling form that also could have led to that shoulder injury, perhaps. But nevertheless,
he's one of the best tacklers.
One of the best tacklers, and he's sticky. He's sticky in coverage. He's not anything crazy, but he's solid, and him being back means stock is up.
Yeah, and they're talking, oh, you know what, Zack? You can go.
What a guy.
Thanks,
what a guy.
What a guy. Give it up to Connor. No, I was going to say, my article from last week, I wrote about the cornerback room, and I had Fenton. I was doing the research. I was like, okay, Fenton's the highest graded. He was, I know people have problems with PFF and their grading system, and not here. I'm just going to use an arbitrary source at this point. So they had him as the highest rated Chiefs cornerback and the sixth highest graded cornerback in the entire league last year.
Dude's a solid player. Dude's really solid.
People were saying like, oh, he's bad. I don't want him as a starter or whatever. I think he's fine. Like cornerback 3, that's a really good cornerback 3. And I floated the idea to Josh and Jordan yesterday. Like they maybe could trade him if they really feel good about Jalen Watson and Josh Williams. But it's better to keep him around as that solid cornerback 3 where you can move him. And he has experience like Snead and McDuffie going inside and outside. So it just makes the defense even more versatile to have a guy like that on the team who's really good at what he does.
Yep.
Yeah, I think this year is the year where finally fans' perception of Fenton, the Chiefs' perception of Fenton and where he actually plays will finally match. He is a good cornerback 3, and that's where they're going to play him. He's already come back from the injury. They have a ramp up plan for him. They were talking about that. So he will be easily ready by week 1. I've always liked Rashad Fenton. I wrote a little piece about him a few weeks ago, and he's always been like the success story of a 6th round pick that doesn't become like a superstar. He's the kind of player that you want out of your 6th round picks. And it's his last year with the Chiefs, I believe, also. So I think even if you like Josh Williams and you want to see him play, I think even the best thing for Josh Williams is him not being the CB3 this year and learning because he came from Fayetteville State. He needs to learn about the NFL. And even though he's doing well in training camp, I don't know if that will continue to on the field in real NFL games when cornerback's one of the hardest positions to transition to in the NFL. So I think the best thing for Josh Williams and even Jalen Watson would be sitting behind Rashad Fenton, learning this year. And the best thing for the Chiefs overall would be playing Finn at the CB3 role, which it seems like that seems to be their base nickel package just because they can get Snead inside. So he'll be seeing the field a lot this year.
Yeah. And I mean, I agree with Connor. I think, and it kind of transitions to our next guy, Josh Williams, where he's had a really good camp. That's all the reports are saying. But when he came out of college, you think, okay, Fayetteville State, it's an HBCU. It's a lower level program. They're not used to playing against these 5-star, 4-star athletes. So it may take, he has all the talent, but it may take some time to transition to the NFL game. And I'm glad he's ahead of schedule in the Chief size and, the people who are at camp size, but still to give him that, not a gap year or, like a learning, like a red shirt year, I guess. But
he'll still play a bit.
Yeah. To slowly bring him along, give him whatever, like 20% snaps a game, you know, where he comes in as a rotational cornerback or in dime packages, he's in there. And that's where I think Josh Williams really could, you know, take his game to the next level by playing that smaller role. Because like even like Snead, who was drafted in the same spot as him, and obviously we know Snead's like the best cornerback on the team and it has been since he was drafted. Like he had to start from day one, and he came from even a lower, not a HBCU level school, but like a mid-level school where he didn't have to play against highest competition. So, and we saw that kind of last year. Like Snead struggled a bit, and that might have been just a sophomore slump or whatever. And not saying he's going to be not a bad cornerback, but to have that learning experience to sit for a year or sit for snaps and really process the game could really pay dividends for Josh Williams in the long run.
Yeah, just not thrown into the fire right away, basically.